Today we're going to wrap up the Harley build. We're going to do bars, risers, clutch lever, new front master, grips, clean up the whole front end. We're going to be running the Drag Specialties 4-inch risers. I picked these specifically because it will let me run the stock speedometer, which I want to keep. A lot of the other risers, they bolt straight on. These kind of are a little bit offset. And the Drag Specialties risers has that same offset, so you can still use the speedometer. We got Thrashin mid-bend bars. These are not the aggressive bend. And then obviously we're going to do the RSC, get these disgusting grips off, and then Brembo 19 master cylinder up front there, and we should be good. I do want to mention I'm swapping rear wheels. Earlier in the build series you saw me put the chain and sprocket onto the stock 18-inch wheel, but I am switching to a 16-inch rear wheel. Solely for the fact that you can get more takeoff tires on the 16. It's a lot more common as opposed to the 18-inch. And then obviously you have less surface area, so it's easier to drift. But this one right here came off of a 2016 883. If you find a Sportster in the same kind of generation as your bike, so like this is a 17 Roadster, any Sportster in that 16 to 20 range should bolt right up. I mean, I compared the exploded views on the rear wheel for this 883 and my Roadster, and they use the exact same parts, like same brake rotor, same spacers and everything, so this should bolt right up. I know some people swap with dyno wheels if they fit. I haven't found a lot of information on what years fit there, but definitely if you can find an 883, they have stock 16-inch wheels, I think front and back, so not that that really matters because I'm leaving the stock front end on this Roadster, just going with a smaller rear wheel in the back. These Drag Specialty risers do need a little bit of modification. Down here on the triple tree. I had to Dremel away some material on the riser here, as well as on the inside here, because I don't know if you can see the way this triple tree is there's like slotted out areas where the risers would be. The stock risers don't take up as much surface area when they're bolted in, so like this does not interfere on the triple tree here, but these risers are a lot thicker, so I just kind of Dremeled away until I was able to get the risers flush with the triple. The goal with these risers was to use the OEM, top mount here with the speedometer, but again, these risers are a lot thicker and they don't fit into those top slots there. And as you can kind of see, I tried to Dremel away a little bit to try and make it fit, but I think I'm just going to run this top clamp the way it is and then kind of just leave the speedometer here. You can see the speedometer easily. You don't get to see the lights that well, but since they're wired separately and come apart separately, I might try and just like stick the lights up here if I can, and then keep the speedometer down here where it'd be kind of resting on the headlight, maybe some zip ties or something, because a whole nother relocation bracket's pretty expensive, so I don't know if I want to spend the money on that. But all I did right now, the bars are just temporarily on. I torque these down just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to torque these riser bolts now that that's secure, so everything should be nice and square when I go to do the handlebars for the final adjustment. This is how we have the speedometer hooked up. I pretty much put 2 zip ties around the bars and those top 2 holes, and then underneath, if you can see that, I have the double locking Velcro connected to the top clamp as well as the speedometer, and that locks this guy in pretty secure. I'm gonna stick with this setup for now and just kind of see how it holds up. If it has problems, I'll look for a more secure mounting setup, but for right now, I mean, this is as good as it gets. I mean, it's gonna be a pain if I have to take the top clamp off, and I put a HT moto here, so This the speedometer doesn't scratch up this top clamp any more than I already did, and kind of gives it a nice cushion too. Those Drag Specialties risers aren't really going to work with the stock speedometer in the OEM fashion, but you can make it work in this sense as well.
Hottest stash in the carpet. Yeah, we trapping out apartments. I ain't done where you start shit.